Hello everyone, I am here to do a quick character study on Snakebite, the natural diamond Beowulf of the second generation. In this video I'll try to show the strengths and weaknesses he possesses, how to play him to full effect, and give advice on which moves to use. Take everything I say here with a grain of salt. I'd like to think I'm a fairly competent player, and I have been in the top 50 in Rift for like a year. Even made it to top 20 a couple times. However, I don't know everything. What I do know though, I would like to share that with you now. So, Snakebite. In my opinion, Snakebite is one of the strongest, most fun to play characters I've encountered in Skullgirls Mobile. He also has almost nothing that makes him flat out unusable. However, there are a number of catalysts and characters that limit what he can do, and I will list those later in the video. Okay, let's start with the moves you should be using. I recommend always using Aru Ready, which is the taunt move. It gives you a hype charge which speeds up the time for you to activate your next hype mode, which is essential for Snakebite. Another special move with that is great, so you can keep dishing out damage even if you can't use your blockbusters yet. I'm using Hurting Hurdle, but you can swap things for Gigan Arm Sweep, Wolf Blitzer or Wolf Shoot as you please. Wolf Shoot has the advantage of also giving you a hype charge if you need that. After that, I like to make full use of the haste and stack Snakebite with as many blockbusters as possible. I recommend Gatish Tree Pack, which is a blockbuster 1, and Lupine Pummel, which is blockbuster 2, because they both can be used to grab the opponent when they stand back up, and unless you mistime it, there's really nothing they can do. Therefore, you can string together a lot of damage quite quickly. Last but not least, I choose 3 Wolf Moonsault, which is the BB3, Blockbuster 3, simply because Wolfomania gives me haste, which ideally I already have, and these things don't stack. Also, it decreases the blockbuster meter of the enemy, which is always good, even though the AI only uses Forbidden Procedure just standing around there. But yeah, maybe good for denying a res. Oh, and while I have you here, use Defending Champion as the marquee ability. It works a lot better with Snakebite because of the barriers that he gets, and it's also better for offensive Beowulfs in general. For the stats, you don't need anything special to play him. As for all attackers, you need attack percentage and piercing. You don't need meter gain because you're playing with haste, and unless you really want to use Snakebite as a potential biofeedback character or pinwheel counter, you can put some crit rate and or crit damage on him to pump his damage up even further. The rest is up to personal preference. Alright, now that we've covered the moveset, let's figure out how to play with them. At the start of the match, I like to go for a quick throw, which mostly works. If it connects, immediately go for taunt. This should give you 2 hype charges pretty much instantly. Now block till you can do a safe full combo. After that combo you should be sitting on 3 hype charges and possibly some blockbusters due to attacking them during haste. Activate the hype mode immediately. You can now pretty much play just like Big Band and just countercharge whenever they try to dash at you. And if they start to block, you can just run up to them and use a BB1 or BB2. Using both Gatish Tree Pack and Lupine Pummel during hype mode also increases their damage. From here on out, you just need to keep your hype mode up by taunting and doing some full combos. And remember to never try to block their attacks. I know, I do it too, but you will lose all your evades and you will have to start from scratch. Okay, now moving on to characters or modifiers that make Snakebite's life a bit harder. Standout is probably the biggest enemy because there's a good chance you're not getting your precious evades due to her signature ability. You can however play normal and only activate hype mode when you're about to kill her. You just don't wanna activate it and then she's sitting on a BB3, so. Assassin's Creed has her budget autoimmune in ICU and budget blockbusted in her signature ability, meaning you don't want to use debuffs or blockbusters against her since it will make her a lot stronger. Perfect Dark is pretty annoying too, because you won't be able to get your evades after you're cursed. The high damage output Snakebite has makes it rather easy to dispose of her though, since she isn't very tanky. Okay, now moving on to Painwheel Marquise and Don't Poke the Beer. Painwheels almost demand a counter with low crit rate to cover both marquees, since you often won't know which one the player has picked. You can use Snakebite for that if you have those kind of moves with no crit rate. However, I don't recommend it per se. First of all, most Painwheels are paired with Don't Poke the Beer in Rift, which actually makes him almost unusable due to the high damage output per single hit. You will most likely kill yourself before you can get enough barriers up. And even if the Painwheel is in a prize fight, it can be quite risky. If you do go for that, use all the throw moves Beowulf has to offer. Build up till you have Lupine Pommel and do as much damage as you can with it. But still, I would always approach Painwheels with care and don't approach Don't Poke the Beer at all with a fully upgraded Snakebite. Blockbusted limits your damage output quite a bit because you're playing around with haste and you want to get the most out of it. So if you can use Blockbusters, your damage output will be a lot lower. Frost Armor isn't your best matchup either, since the self-damage will be quite severe, especially when it's in a single node. It is however possible to use Snakebite on double or triple nodes with Frost Armor, but you have to make sure you get your barriers up as soon as possible and have a Surgeon General in the back to heal up the damage that it did. Once you get your barriers, most of the damage should be absorbed by that. Return to Sender isn't ideal either, because you want to kill the enemy with a blockbuster, and most of the blockbusters debuff them, which means they will res and you won't be able to get your buffs or that blockbuster finish. However, if you are careful, you can work around that by using Gatish Tree Pack or a BB3. Those don't debuff, therefore it kills them. Curse of Knowledge works the same as Perfect Dark, so you won't be able to get your evades unless you wait for it to time out and activate your hype mode in between those. And again, as a reminder, don't poke the Beer, okay? It's not worth it, I've tried it, it's a lot of self-damage. And there you have it, that is all I have to say about Snakebite. He is one of my favorite characters to play nowadays. I hope everyone who watches this video gets a chance to try him for themselves, and I wish all of you good luck on your next Diamond Relic. Hopefully this character study has helped some of you out on how to use him to full effect. Feel free to tell me to take an in-depth look at a character you feel like deserves a day in the spotlight. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching, I really appreciate it, and I will see you in my next character study. Bye!